Hey, what's up, personal finance students? Welcome to Term 5. It's Monday, April 13th. It is the 15th day of our COVID-19 e-learning experience. I know we've been out of school and at home under stay-at-home orders for longer than 15 days, but this is our 15th school day since the e-learning began, and it's definitely not going to be our last. You see that date, April 24th. Well, I don't know if you guys heard. I remember last week I talked to you guys. I thought that they would be extending that. The governor of Missouri on that same day went ahead and shut down all public schools for the rest of the academic school year, so through May. Doesn't shut Logos down immediately because we're not a public school, but obviously if you live in Missouri, if you're from a Missouri school district, that applies to you. If you're from Illinois, they haven't done that yet, but I'm sure that's going to come, and when that comes, once all the Illinois schools are shut down for the rest of the school year, I'm sure you'll see that date changing. So, this is term 5, right? And we just have to be prepared for that. Term 5 goes through May into the first week of June, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like that term 5 is going to be an all e-learning term, which again doesn't come as a surprise. We should expect that. The good news is we had half a term last term doing e-learning, and you guys did really well with it, and so now we know what this term is going to look like. I think we're going to do even better. We get better at this e-learning as we go along. And even better for this class, personal finance, those of you who've been in this class know we've been doing e-learning all along using our econlowdown.org system done by the St. Louis Federal Reserve. We've been doing that since the beginning of the school year. So if you're new to personal finance, we're going to go through how that Econ Lowdown works in this video. And again, if you're new, welcome. You'll be seeing me in these videos regularly. I like to post one of these little messages every day, just to kind of go through what we're going to be working on and, walk you through how to do the assignments and turn them in. So let's move on to that. Let's go ahead and open up our Blackbaud system, which is the e-learning system that Logos has chosen to use. I know different teachers are using different systems because, Blackbaud, let's face it, is not ideal. It's far from ideal. And if you're frustrated with it, welcome to the club. But the good news is we're using econlowdown.org, which I think is a much, much easier to use system. The one drawback is you got to have a separate login. But other than that, once you're logged in, I think it's very user-friendly and very self-explanatory. So let's talk about how to get logged in. So from Blackbaud, right, from your bulletin board page, you'll see something like this. You'll have not this many tabs across the top, but you'll have a bulletin board, you'll have topics, you'll have assignments. When you go into topics, the one topic that's there is Econ Lowdown. Click on Econ Lowdown, open up this topic, you'll see the links for the student login page. We'll get back to that in a second. When you go to assignments, as assignments are added to econlowdown.org, they will also be added in here. You can't do them through here, but you can get to them through here. So the first two that are posted up there are a written assessment, and we'll see what that is in a second, and then cards, cars, and currency lesson 1. So if we click on the links for these assignments, it'll also take us to the link for the Econ Lowdown login. So there's plenty of places to find the login page link, right? Including under e-learning instructions here on your bulletin board, right? econlowdown.org. If I click on that link, it takes me to this page, the login page, where you're asked for a student code and a password. Everyone has their own auto-generated student code and password, and I have those for everyone, and I have sent them out through the Blackbaud messaging system to everyone. So hopefully you've gotten those. If you have your student code and password from last term, you need a new one for term 5. So don't use the old one, right? That'll just give you all your old assignments from last term. You want to log in with the new one, and if you're looking for that, again, it was sent through Blackbaud messaging. So go into your messages. Where are your messages on Blackbaud? up here, right, where it says messages, you'll have probably a number. I got 0 because I keep up on my messages. If you have like 48 unread messages, don't worry about it. You're probably in the same boat as a lot of people. But in that big list of unread messages will be one from me. And it will have a message with all of your login information. It'll say, welcome to Econ Lowdown, Personal Finance Term 5. Here's your student login page. Here's your student login information. It'll be a message very similar to that message we saw under topics, right? It'll be this message, only personalized for you. To get started on your assignments, go to the student login page and access your account using your student code. I'm going to put in my student code and password and click submit, and you will see a page that you will see when you log in. It'll look just like this. Personal Finance Term 5, my name. Your name will be up at the top there, and then as you scroll down, you will see the assignments. And so far, we just have 2 assignments. Scroll all the way to the bottom to see the most recent assignments. Just these 2. So you have 2 assignments up. The first one is a written assessment. Written assessment. And written assessments are free points, right? There's no wrong answer here. You get 100% just for submitting an answer. So make sure you always do those written assessments. They're a super easy way to get free points. They're mainly just to kind of get a discussion going and see what you know. And then we have a pretty short assignment called Cards, Cars, and Currency, Lesson 1. Let's look at this written assessment first, since it's the first one. You can always see the status of your assignments on here, and you can see mine's unanswered, so I need to launch. It's that pink circle, which takes me to this page, where I can answer the question. And here's the prompt. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy, what the heck is that? Did you know that April is Financial Literacy Month? That's true. We are in Financial Literacy Month. And literacy, you've heard that word, right? If someone's literate, they can read, right? Not just read, but understand the language. If you're financially literate, you can read and understand finances, right? You understand how to manage your money, and you understand the terminology and the concepts related to responsibly managing your money. That's all it means, is to be financially literate. And April was set as Financial Literacy Month to kind of recognize that there's a lot of adults walking around who aren't financially literate, right? Until recently, this was not a class, personal finance, that was taught in high school. And so people would get into the adult world and they'd have bills to pay and all these other things to do with finances, and they just didn't know how to do it. And so being financially literate is obviously important, right? And so let's see. The question is, what does it mean to you to be financially literate? Do you feel that you are financially literate? Why or why not? Let's see. I'm going to say I feel like I know how to pay my bills. But I'm always learning to manage my spending better. Can always get better at that, right? And that's all you got, something like that. It can be long, can be short, but that's all I'm putting, right? And there you go. Now I've submitted my response. That's a 100% answer right there. So those are really easy to do. You'll see a message like this once you've submitted your response, and then you can go back into that other tab where you have, again, this page. And if I refresh, you will see my status is now changed to submitted, and then a grade will appear. The other lesson we have on here is Cards, Cars, and Currency. And again, if we launch that, it's going to look something like this, right? This is one of these lessons where you have a pre-test, you have a few activities, and then you have a post-test. The questions on the pre-test and the post-test are exactly the same, and you're only graded on, well, your best score out of either the pre-test or the post-test. So do the best you can on this, but it'll always start off with a little introduction, right? When you finish this lesson, you should be able to explain the importance of financial literacy, explain the importance of taking responsibility for personal financial decisions, and then always proceed to the next page. If we proceed to the next page, we see the pretest, and there's only 2 questions on the pretest and the post-test. So it's really easy do your best you can, right? Take your best guess on the pretest. If you don't get them right on the pretest, if you don't know the answers, that's okay. And from there, you can go to financial literacy, keep your money game, and then a post-test. This shouldn't take longer than 15-20 minutes to do. But if you have any questions, if you run into any problems, please let me know through either email or the Blackbaud message system. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.